Yeah, dude.
All right. So
we had a good date night.
we had a good date night. Hey guys, it's the Film Fuks.
We spent it with us.
We did. So for this Film Fuks After Dark,
Yeah, it's a brand new segment.
brand new segment. It's not a brand new episode. It's a brand new
brand new
hour-long
segment.
segment, broken up by a commercial. Oh, listen to that.
Sponsored by LaCroix.
Coconut LeBroy.
LeBroy.
It's off-brand LaCroix. It's
LeBro.
with an X. It's LeBro with an X. Yes. So we decided to go see Without Carl, who's a scaredy baby.
Big puss.
Hey, don't say that.
It's offensive.
It's offensive to
Big
cats.
puss. Yeah.
It's offensive to cats everywhere. Yeah.
He would have liked this movie. There's a lot of bunnies in it.
There's a lot of bunnies. Carl likes the bunnies.
Mm-hmm. They're cute.
I want to pet the bunny. Tell me about the rabbits, Lenny.
About the rabbits? Oh, yeah. I want to pet the rabbits, George. I want to pet the rabbits.
Tell me about the rabbits, George.
They're so cute.
They're so good.
They taste so good, especially when you eat them raw.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, especially when you eat them raw while simulating a carnival in an enclosed space.
I mean, that was my childhood growing
Was
up.
your childhood just chud life?
Chud life,
Hashtag chud life.
Yeah, there. Spoilers again. There's chuds in this movie,
Guys, this is all about the chuds. Well, it's not actually chuds.
It's a chud.
They're
yeah,
HUDs.
it's okay.
They're HUDs. They're not chuds.
I mean,
I'm calling Grant again.
Okay,
But
they don't eat anybody.
No, they don't.
I feel they would if they, they're like, oh, this tastes pretty good.
No, I think they specifically want to not eat people. They just want to replace them.
Yeah.
It's like we want to live the lives that we haven't been able to live, not eat.
They like
lives.
rabbits. That's
They're
their
like,
diet.
no, they don't. They were forced to eat rabbits. Grant, I swear. Hello?
Hey, Ryan, what's up?
Oh, heck
Hey,
yeah,
dude.
Grant.
Be quiet. Be quiet. Hey, you're on the podcast.
I'm on the podcast?
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
So how'd you
Sorry,
like
I'm-
Us?
Yeah. Grant, tell us about Us.
Grant, tell us about Us, the new movie by Jordan
By
Peele.
Jordan Peele, yeah.
Oh, tell you about Us?
Yeah.
Well, it's a sequel to his original film, We.
Uh-huh.
It was meant to be more inclusive, but then they realized that really didn't fit with the
Keep
general
going.
Yeah, don't.
ideology of the antagonist, which was them. So it was
The giant ant
us
people.
versus we
No,
versus
them.
Yeah.
It's us versus them,
those guys.
Mm-hmm.
instead of we.
But they couldn't just do those guys because then you're discounting that gender involvement. So that's why they
Right.
settled
No,
on
you're not. Grant, do you?
I think, Grant
Grant,
enjoyed the movie.
have you never seen this movie?
What are you
I
trying
have
to
no
say?
idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. Isn't it like some family friendly show on Fox?
Us?
Yeah,
This Is Us.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
well, okay.
We're
Well,
not going to
then-
review that shit.
Yeah,
Right.
Grant,
Okay.
Jesus, get out of here.
We have class. Yeah,
Yeah,
get
we
the fuck
do.
out
Get
of
the
here.
fuck out of here, Grant. You know what?
Fuck you.
You guys are beautiful human beings. Did you stay afterwards for the end scene credits where Nick Fury comes and kills all the bad guys?
We did, and
the
frankly, it
evil
makes no
Nick
Sense
Fury
because
has
if
no eyes, he has
well,
2 eye patches.
no, it's
Yes,
just a pile of ash.
Right.
It's just
Us is actually
Oh.
Us is canonical in the MCU. There are those shape-shifting aliens. So it's actually secretly a
Right.
Marvel film.
But you can
everything's
confirm that
Marvel
in the
universe.
post-credit scene, Nick Fury is just a pile of ash that kills everybody because he chokes them
Absolutely.
to death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a moderately sized pile. They could have picked an odd color for it too, but whatever. I'm not a director.
I mean, you don't want to bring race into it. It's like ash is
Yeah.
ash, Grant. We all go to
Yeah, we
ash.
all-
You don't want
From
colored
ash to
ash.
ash, from dust to dust.
Yeah, but that odd shade of periwinkle, that's like just unnatural.
I mean, like obviously
that's the
they
filters they
yeah.
were using,
And they did the-
Periwinkle's in, man.
Yeah, periwinkle's in. I mean, just look at like Fantastic Beasts, like that blue coat.
Dude,
like,
everyone's
it's
favorite
perfect.
movie.
Yeah, everybody's favorite
God.
movie.
You guys are beautiful human beings. You know that?
Who?
What?
God damn it. That was atrocious.
We should
Okay.
just have that instead of the commercial.
Why? No, that's at the beginning. Everybody
that's a
wants
good
to hear
intro.
us struggle to talk to Grant, who is
That's
horrible
our
with
intro
technology.
now.
That's our
That's
intro.
our intro, yeah.
It's just Grant going. Us is them. Us is the sequel to we.
To we, and it's the prequel to them.
No, it's just that the antagonist is them because it's an
Giant
us
ant
versus.
people.
Dude, I don't know where you fucking got
That's
that.
from a 1950s horror film called,
It's called
Them.
Them?
Yes.
And it's oh look at them giant ant people.
It's them.
Oh no, them
It's
is
us.
Is it just one giant ant and his name is them and it's like, oh no, them is coming.
Yeah, he's bringing us a basket of muffins. He
Okay,
baked
what the
himself.
fuck, Wally? Okay, so we are talking
Back
about
on
us.
topic, yeah.
Jordan Peele's newest movie. You can hear
He's
my
on a good roll.
you can hear my chair cracking.
Yeah.
that was a nice pop. Jeez, stop it, Wally. You do this every time. You make it pop.
Gotta keep
Okay.
it popping, man.
Gotta keep it popping. Okay, so Wally, first impressions. What do you think of this movie?
Oh, really good horror film. It suspends your disbelief throughout the entire movie. I at first thought it was going to be like a home invasion movie. There's a lot more to it than that. It's a good psychological. I'm not going to say a thriller, but like a psychological like horror movie.
Why aren't you
Right
gonna
then.
say a thriller?
Well, it's a horror movie first and foremost. It's not really a thriller.
I don't know. It's kind of thrilling. I mean, you get this like whole other world built, and then you're like immediately thrown into it in like a thrilling fashion.
It's spooky.
Spooky. I mean, some guy gets blended up in a
Which they
propeller.
didn't show properly. I was so confused.
I
of
don't
what
know
was going
how
on.
you can be confused by that. It was so
There
apparent.
needed to be more blood.
That's
It
not.
needed to get a little sillier.
I don't know. That's a weird.
Squibs
That's
everywhere.
a weird.
That's
Squibs.
my one complaint of this film.
Yeah, is that there wasn't enough squibs.
All that digital garbage.
We watched a kid literally burn to death, like walk
Yeah.
backwards into the fire. I didn't.
So, okay. So let's see how break this movie down.
Okay.
So it starts with this little girl who goes through this traumatic incident at the beach. Way back in the day, in the 80s, the 1980s, she's at a beach. She goes through this this spooky house. Goes in a hole of mirrors, so it's kind of like a carnival ride. She eventually sees someone else, and it's this little girl who's exactly like her. Then we cut like 30 years later. This woman is all grown up. For some reason, they're going back to this place. We don't know exactly why. She has a beautiful family.
Okay, minute 5, this shit happens. Wally, this is the slowest recap ever. So, yes, so we see the fact that there are these mirror people for some reason. We don't necessarily know right off the bat if it's true. Then it's kind of just like a family vacation sort of movie.
At first, it kind of plays it off as just this like traumatic event that this woman went through.
And you don't really hear a lot more about it. It's just like they go to a beach. She's kind of afraid of the beach, obviously. You know, you see the quirks of the kids. Like, they're one's very much a mama's boy, and the other one is like always on her phone.
Yeah. Typical millennial.
Yeah, no.
Gen
Z.
Gen Z, yeah.
Typical Gen Z. And then after that, well,
that's when
shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Shit
we're...
hits the fam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shit.
Shit. And
Yeah,
so,
this movie's paced pretty well. Like, it gets into that aspect, the horror aspect, pretty quickly. I was kind of surprised how quickly that happened. Like, it was kind of slow at the beginning. I'm like, oh, this will probably be like an hour until we see this like creepy family, but it's probably like within a half an hour we get to that point pretty quickly.
I was gonna say, but then you get the point. Once you even like, it's not a traditional horror movie in that like you meet the quote unquote like evil villain family, like, and then there's a decent amount of time before they even start doing anything. Like, they're just kind of like an eerie presence. Like, they sit down, they're mirroring each other, sitting in this den. The kid lights the fire, and then they're just
really liked
talking
that.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that never happens in horror where, like, the person. It kind of happens. It's like a trope
No.
of like super villainry where it's
It
like,
was-
I'm going
yeah.
to explain to you what's happening and why.
Right, like they do have this sense like they're this like unstoppable force, kind of like a Jason Voorhees or like Michael Myers, but they're like they kind of have a point to them,
Well,
not
at
just
least
killing for the
at
sake
least
of
the
killing.
main character, like the
Yeah.
mirror main character does. The rest of
Or
them
like just
seem
henchmen.
yeah, they really are just henchmen. And obviously because they can't talk. And so then you go through the like it's almost like a yakety sax level of like the dad gets hurt early on and that becomes like the pinnacle like the defining feature of his character is him limping the fuck around.
Is limping the fuck around. Well, he's like a dunce from the very beginning. They're like, oh, this guy is clearly not gonna be our hero.
He's just a typical dad.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's just the dad. Like he's making the
And
dumb dad
he's
jokes.
making those dad jokes.
Yeah.
He's got the boat.
He's got his boat, and that allows him to kill somebody. And like, I feel
That's
like
good.
every character
Kills two
has
people on boats.
yeah. Well, and that's the weird thing is that like you don't expect him like he gets played very early on like he's just a pushover. Like when
Yeah.
he came out the first time to like yell at this like ominous family
That
standing
was
out there,
pretty
it's like this is obviously like I can't remember what his shirt said. It was like Howard.
Yeah, a place he.
I think it was a
figured
college.
Yeah, went to.
Which is like a nice like a fancy college, and so it's
Okay.
like oh this guy's like clearly he's
Playing it, yeah.
Like-
Playing the character, playing like the tough guy. even though he's
well,
clearly
yeah,
not.
like he's definitely not the tough guy, and then he comes back out with
With
a
a
bat, and then
yeah.
he like puts on.
immediately gets it
yeah.
taken away from him.
Well, yeah, he's just like trying to put on the airs that he's going to like do something, and then he runs in the house the first thing ever.
I was surprised how funny this movie was. I mean, you had like a comedian like Tim Heidecker in it, like clearly having a fun time as the evil Tim.
You think he was evil? I think he was just a douchebag.
Well, there's douchebag Tim, and then there's evil. Tim.
I guess.
Yeah.
But like evil Tim is just a douchebag. Like they're both dumb. Like they're both stupid.
That's true.
But then all the like evil Tim just wanted like I don't even know what he wanted. Like I don't think he wanted violence. I think he just needed violence because I think he just wanted to have the like relaxing lifestyle of the other Tim.
Happier than the other Tim.
Yeah, but because like he's the one where as soon as he kills his counterpart, he immediately puts on the clothes. It's like the
Right.
clothes make the man almost, and it's kind of the same thing with Elizabeth Moss's character, where after she kills her, the first thing she does is take the mom of the other family, or take our main female lead, take her upstairs, and then start doing her makeup. It's
Right.
like these people are so like superficial. They're very much like, oh, it's all about appearances. Like even early on, you get like, oh, he had to buy the nice car. He had to buy the
Right.
car that
Just
I
the-
wanted. He has to
yeah.
have the nice boat, and I have the shitty boat.
There's a lot of details that play back into later in the plot, and I do really like these like the evil characters. Like they do kind of show like, oh, why they're so messed up. I don't know. It's interesting.
Nice. Yeah, it shows just like because these people ostensibly have been living a similar life to them. So like the Tim Heidecker character, like he's lazy. He doesn't do like he's just kind of always like on. He's like that vacation dude. Like he's always trying to relax. He's always trying to.
Dude.
Yeah, he's just like, can I just sit here? Like, why do I have to look and see if there's somebody outside? I just want to sit in my comfy chair and drink. And it's like, well, that means that the HUD Tim Heidecker was doing some like he was just sitting in spots and doing stuff like that, but he probably had none of the like relaxation or like stimulation that you get from like alcohol or stuff. Like he's just doing it as like
Right.
like if you think about
you don't
coming
get the same thing from eating raw rabbits, man.
well, it's like coming home from work and just sitting on the couch and not doing anything or not instead of like playing a video game or like kind of engaging yourself in like trying to relax or trying to do like that. Like it's still doing the action of just like sitting there, but you're sitting there mindlessly.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you? Because it's a weird concept because it's like these people, like, they don't have the same stress that the people above ground go through.
Right. But
So
yeah,
they're
they
going.
have no choice.
Yeah, and they're going through the physical actions that you're going through, but then at the end of the day, they don't have the choice of oh, I'm going to relax now. It's just I'm going to sit in this one spot because the counterpart of me is relaxing and needs that, but I don't.
Right.
So it's like a yeah. And so maybe the Tim Heidecker character is just trying to find meaning for the thing. Maybe all of these people are just trying to find meaning for
We do see, they after they kill the people that live above ground, we do get to spend a little bit of time with this evil family of Tim Heidecker's, where the woman is
the
putting
evil family of Tim Heideckers. I would
Even said-
say it's the evil family of Elizabeth Moss's. I think has more star power than Tim Heidecker. Sorry.
Sure.
Well, she's from Mad Men. She's from the Handmaid's Tale TV show.
Tim and Eric, man.
Fuck Tim
Awesome
and Eric.
show.
Fuck you.
Great job.
That's such a niche market.
Yeah.
But that's like Eric Andre. I doubt anybody knows
He
who
should
Eric.
have been in this movie.
That would be funny. But he and his HUD counterpart are the same.
Yeah.
He
he also has a terrible shot.
Yeah. It's that'd be really funny actually. But everybody loves it. But
there's a lot of comedy in this because it's Jordan Peele, so he has that comedy background. It plays into it well, and what I like about this movie, it doesn't go too over the top with a final battle or something like that. It's not too outrageous. It gets
just
more psychological and it's on a smaller scale.
yeah, but shot gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's very sterile and kind of it's so the main character is a dancer, used to be a dancer, and so even they're for the final fight between the two leads, it's juxtaposed with shots cut shots of this young girl dancing, and it's oh well, it's kind of the same. A stage is a very sterile, especially for ballet and stuff like that. The stage is a very sterile place. There's not a lot of sets. It's not there's a lot of atmospheric things. It's just you're focused on the movements of the dancer.
Yeah.
And in this, it's white walls or yellowish white walls, and there are rabbits, but they kind of go away. And then it's light. The lighting's very, very finite. It's either it's on or it's off. There's no dimming or atmospheric or dramatic effect to it. It's just so it's the final fight definitely just felt like a different type of ballet between two very different characters, which we already talked about it a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Where would you like to go from here? So we did first impressions, right? You liked the movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It subverted my expectations.
So do you remember the jump scares? Do you remember what caused you to jump?
So this movie, typically, once it starts getting to the scary parts, that's where it goes through all the typical horror movie tropes of a home invasion movie. There's just glass breaking, and I jumped at
it was
very good. Sound editing.
Movie. And that's for a home invasion movie or something like along those horror movie styles. That's what you want. It's it lives or dies by the audio editing.
Right, and what could have been just this, I don't know, just home invasion movie, it expands and becomes really interesting. There's just a lot of atmosphere to this movie.
Yep.
There's not much of a plot, but it's very atmosphere.
Yep. It's well, there is a plot. There's 3 plots, kind of. It's there isn't any I wouldn't say that there isn't a plot. I would say there isn't a logical conflict.
Yeah.
You can't go in expecting to see rationalize with the villains.
No.
You kind of can, but you shouldn't, because by the end you don't realize they're still like they've accomplished nothing. Like they're just a bunch of like mindless zombies standing in a line. Like it's not like them killing the people actually caused them to gain their souls. Like it, they're still mindless.
Yeah.
Like they've just killed their own souls. So it's like, well, I mean, I could see it if once you kill the vessel for your soul, then all of a sudden you get it, because it did say that you're like sharing a soul.
Yes,
but
there's two bodies, but
two bodies, one soul, but obviously one you can't like the souls can't jump between. I don't know if that was something that like.
I mean, there's this idea of like that they're connected, but they can also break that connection.
See,
and
but they just do it in one instance.
Mean that it? I mean, it takes like a traumatic switch, but to like gain the soul, I think is maybe something that this movie tackles. Like after we saw this movie, like we enjoyed it a lot. We feel like it's trying to say something. We haven't quite pieced together.
We can't figure out what it's trying to say. Whether it's trying to like say that I don't know what it would be like, because there was like government. Because I mean, one of the first things that the bad people say is we're Americans. I don't know what the fuck that means. Like.
Yeah,
that confused the shit out of me, because it seems like that's going to be like oh, this is
like you, like this is some sort of like experiment that America tried to do at one point.
But does that make them Americans? See, that's or is it the fact that they like kind of succumb to their like base needs and like, because they are very animalistic. Does that mean that they're Americans? There are also no guns shown in this movie, which is clearly like a point that he made. Like obviously. You expect when he went to Tim Heidecker's house, you expect the white dude to have a fucking gun or something, but he immediately died. Like they immediately die really quick.
Which was, it was pretty funny.
It was really funny. And then when the
like
daughter,
call the police.
Yeah, and then they play. God, that was pretty lame. Like I'm just like, okay. This is clearly like this is like it's a spoof of like modern society.
Yes, like you'll have a lot of fun watching this movie. Like there's enough levity, like with the family itself. Like the dad's pretty goofy, as we mentioned. Like a lot of the laughs come from him.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Heidecker and Elizabeth Moss, like they're also like
Moss.
I'm sorry, Moss.
She's the Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yes.
Elizabeth Grand Moff Tarkin.
I didn't know who this lady was.
That's mind blowing, because I mean she's.
It blew my mind to see that Tim Heidecker was in this movie, because he is such a niche guy. I'm like, oh, he's in.
But I feel like he's in that group where like he would know Jordan Peele, and if you want somebody who's like a little bit kind of like douchey or something like that, I guess he wouldn't be. I wouldn't expect him to play like the typical douche, but he did a fine job at it. Like he's just wacky. That's like John C. Reilly as a douche. Could you ever see that? That'd be pretty funny.
That would be really funny.
Like he's just like straight man, like total asshole. Like
right. I could see him being like a country asshole.
What do you mean like a country asshole? Like he's an asshole, but he's funny? He has a funny accent?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to still unpack in this movie. Like, I'm glad that it subverted my expectations. All the acting in it is, like, really good.
Yeah.
I did think that the main actress's acting at the beginning was kind of stilted, but, like, towards the end, we kind of figure out why that is. Yeah. Like, this movie, you'll be asking questions throughout, and I feel they do answer all your questions, but you're being thrown a lot of questions.
They don't answer all your questions. And it's also,
and some of it, you don't need all the answers.
I was going to say, but, like...
That would kind of ruin it.
Like, it's very predictable. We were just talking about that, like... We both, like, very early on felt like it was going to happen, and then there was, like, a point where it didn't seem like it was going to happen, and then it did happen. In this
comfort zone, it's like, oh, yeah, what you thought was going to happen actually.
Yeah, like, they're trying to trick you.
That's just a sign of good filmmaking. It's like...
I don't know.
that it still subverts your expectations while still, I don't know, satisfying them at the end.
Well, and it's like it's because obviously I feel like a lot of people who go see movies nowadays they want to see if they can outsmart the filmmaker. Like they want at least
Yeah.
I have that feel like I feel that
you-
like
yeah,
I
you-
want to predict it. I want to
there's
see
like
if
a
I
big-
can.
Right. There's a big mystery like for this whole thing, and like it is mostly about our main actress. We figure out like the twist with her.
Yep.
We don't get to see how this like secret society like
Yeah, we
started
don't
up.
get
We don't.
yeah.
Um,
It's kind of
Yeah.
like Glass. I feel like Glass it's a complete story, but it also hinted at so many like bigger things, like that secret society that killed off all of the like we don't hear anything about
that's
those
a good
people.
that's a good comparison. This like thing plays it out a lot more smoothly. Like
Oh, yeah.
everything's paced,
It's
pretty
and
well.
it's not a trilogy. Like that's the thing
Yeah.
is that like Glass had to account for all of the things that were teased in the earlier trilogy, and maybe that's why they included this broader thing that links it together than just like, oh, they're
It just kinda
superheroes.
comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it does. And it's like, oh, it's supposed to be like that, but this is like it's a one-off. He's not going to come out and explain like this whole thing. I don't think
it's
unless I think it'd be sweet if it did, if it like he made a movie where it was like in the like 50s or 60s and it was like them like we don't realize it. So it's like a completely different type of movie. Maybe it's a horror or maybe it's like a
Okay.
comedy or
It's
something
like
like that. But then
somehow
at the
pretty
end,
cool.
yeah, it's like the
Okay.
like it's a
it's a twist.
well,
You
yeah.
want him to become the next M. Night Shyamalan.
Well, no. I just want it to be like you see like a family kind of like breaking down and like you see all this family strife and the dad's like stressed out from work and stuff like that, and then you just kind of see like at the end you see him. He's like he has to like go into work to fix this problem, and it's actually the problem that like they can't actually do anything with these mirror images people or these clones, and so that's when they end up sealing it off at the end. Like it doesn't
Gotcha.
have to
Yeah.
be explaining it. It just like
I feel like with a good horror film, you can throw in these like psychological aspects that are more leaning towards like an idea than actually something that's tangible and that's going to make like complete sense.
but there's no idea there. There was no point. Like it seemed like there was no like because they hinted that they thought they could use these
I
to
think, like, the
control
whole-
people. What the fuck does that mean? Like it
Yeah.
seemed like
I think like it was trying to speak more to the duality of people just going through the monotony of life, and that's the underground dwellers just going through the motions.
and that's pretty good actually, because it
Yeah,
it does
'cause,
hint to like the like commercialization, like capitalism, like commercialization. It's like to keep it's like sheeple sort of mentality. It's like in order to keep
Absolutely.
people contained, you keep them happy, but you keep them happy, just happy enough that they will do what you say, but they will also want the next thing you give them.
Yeah, we're like, I feel when we get this like this panning shot that's mirroring what's going on the beach to what's going on downstairs. That is the creepiest part of the film to me.
Yeah.
Because we're not quite sure like
Like
if these people are enjoying it or not.
yeah, like you can't tell by their emotions.
Like it's just such a fucked up situation.
Well, and
But-
it's like there's people standing in a doorway, going and then
Yeah,
go down,
that
like
was
they're
so
simulating.
yeah.
They're simulating a roller coaster, but
I'm
like
glad there was like it was more of that like psychological horror film stuff than like there's this slasher on the loose and
Yeah.
we gotta figure out a way to kill them.
yeah,
it has those moments like you get the best of both worlds with that.
It does, because like the dad,
So
like
you
the
will
dad's,
feel satisfied if you're
yeah.
like a slasher fan. There's
Yep.
plenty of.
the dad's HUD is like a typical like Jason
I like that
Voorhees
word, just call
HUD.
them
Well, yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah.
Is just like a traditional Jason Voorhees. The kid
It's
is
just
like
screaming.
the kid's like Freddy sort of kind
Oh,
of character.
yeah,
He's
he's my
creepy.
favorite.
Really, I like the
Yeah. Like the little boy's HUD character.
I kind of like the girl, like, because the funny thing
Yeah.
is the girl looks like. Have you ever seen? There's like a Momo. It's like a YouTube thing where somebody created this. Hold on, we're gonna look this up as you
Okay.
can. Yeah, I think it's called Momo.
But yeah, it was kind of cool to see like that like we get early on that the normal little boy like kind of likes fire, and then we saw like with this evil little boy like how far that actually went. Oh God.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah, no, she had that kind of
Well,
face.
and that's
That thing.
like people. So the whole
I
thing.
just I gotta really stress like how good the actors are in this movie to like
yeah,
play,
like mind blowing.
yeah, to play like their normal survivor character and then like also the slasher character. Like it is really interesting like spin on like who's good and who's bad. Like I feel there's a lot to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But even on the surface level, you just even get like
I know.
a
So
decent, like a really good slasher film. But thankfully, for those who want more, there is more to dive into this movie. Just like his last movie, Get Out, which I would still say Get Out
is
is a lot more impactful in this movie.
Yeah,
but
this I think it's not as readily accessible. Like the criticism of modern society is not as readily accessible in this movie. Like it's more
there.
a traditional horror movie.
Yeah.
But if you dig deep enough,
I
you will
feel the
find it.
criticism comes in like the underground, like dwellers. Like how are we actually like living our lives?
Yeah.
Just like mindlessly.
Yeah, for sure. But in order to like really unpack what it's trying to say about modern society, like yes, there is that duality, but like as we pick at it, you kind of get more things that are like you think about what Jordan Peele is thinking about, like the things that are manipulating our sense of duality.
Yeah.
Or a sense of action or a sense of inaction. But
what did you think of like it's kind of random, but like the locations that were set around? Like I don't think I've ever seen a horror film set like at a beach. And I like that in the beach you have this wide open area. So like at the beginning, like it plays with these ideas of like childhood trauma of like losing a loved one or getting like lost, and it's like in the beach where it's such this like big open space, it's like it's easier to lose someone.
Well,
in that.
and it's funny because I feel like in modern society you like there's a lot more like for families there's a lot more panic of like if I don't keep an eye on, and you kind of see it in this movie, it's like if I don't keep an eye on my kid 24/7, they're going to be taken by somebody, which is like a very modern thing to think about. Like I don't know about
Like
you,
trafficking.
when I was when I was, especially for women, but when I was younger, we used to go
Yeah.
all through like these Georgia swamps for hours on end. There's poisonous snakes around. There's probably alligators at some point. Wild boar. Like there was all these things that could have happened to us that would have been like could have killed us, and yet
Right.
like our parents seem basically fine with that. But and that's late. Like I mean, we grew up in the mid 2000s, and so or like the early and mid 2000s.
Yeah, what's
So.
interesting about this movie, it shows like the mom is a very relatable character, even though we see at the end she's one of these like HUD people. Like she has this maternal instinct of like being afraid of like losing her children. It's like that's very relatable, but also like she has that fear because she doesn't want her family to discover what she actually is.
Yeah, but also like her counterpart also like yes the kids are fucked up in their relationship, but the counterpart like the mother who used to be the or who is the HUD now does also have those emotional like attachments
does.
to her children, but it's in a slightly different way
You
just
could
because of
still
this.
tell like the boy is a mama's boy.
Yeah, and she treats him as a mama's boy, and like, yeah, they don't do like she pets him like kind
Yeah,
of like
kinda-
friend like
It's like
familially.
yeah.
It is like bastardized. Like it's creepy to think
It's
about
creepy.
because you think of that as like
It's
a
like
dog thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah.
you love your dogs. Like you love your dog. You
Yeah.
care about your dogs. You don't want to see your dogs hurt. Like
And
there is a
there's
sort of
just,
familial connection to your dogs, even if you think of them as a
yeah.
lower
There's
life
just
form.
something about like a child being feral that's kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, like when they
They're just,
as
like,
soon as they
crawling out of
show
the
up.
forest.
Oh, when he crawls into the forest and then the big dude starts walking towards the house, and
Yeah.
then the smiling
I
girl
was
just
like,
comes
no.
running.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. And then you see him
This-
climbing up a tree.
It does have a like. Those are where it has a lot of tense moments towards the beginning because you're like building up this this atmosphere of I don't know, like there's just this creepy family just standing on the other side, like what do we do? It's like within a split second they just become like what just creepy shadows, like you're not quite sure if they're like human or not.
And they have jumpsuits. Like
Mhm.
it looks like they're escape prisoners, but then you find out no,
Right.
it's so much more fucked up than that.
Mhm.
But okay, what was this? What was the? Because were they wearing red jumpsuits the entire time when they were down?
No.
Okay.
That was something.
Where did they get them?
That's another thing that's not explained. But the only explanation we get is that when the girl I'm just gonna say upstairs,
Yeah.
goes downstairs,
You mean the up escalator?
the up escalator goes up the down escalator.
De-escalator. She tried to She
She
tried to
de-es-
de-escalate. She actually de-escalated her other self.
Mm-hmm. She has that what was it called? Where everyone's holding hands.
Yeah,
everyone-
she was wearing that undershirt.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's red in that.
Yeah.
So that's the one like they're like, oh, we gotta become one.
But then where do they get the bunnies? How have they survived? Because it seemed like the government had forgotten about them or like forsaken them. But they're still like, are they breeding the bunnies?
I mean, rabbits breed like rabbits, man.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Boom.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Rabbits breed like rabbits, guys. You heard it here first. Don't tell anybody. It's
That's a
trade
quote, yeah.
secret. It's a trade
2019,
secret.
Rabbits breed like rabbits. I mean, that's the only thing I could like put together. Like, oh, what's one animal that like has the
They
the
couldn't.
thing where like, oh, they keep repopulating.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it doesn't make
Well,
the
and
most
like,
sense.
yeah, how long? Like, I don't know.
Also, like rabbits are like cute, but also kind of creepy.
Oh,
So I
really? I
think-
thought they
yeah.
were so cute.
I
It was creepy with the music at the beginning, like
Yes.
that. Yeah, because it was like weird,
'Cause-
like operatic.
I mean, like, and there's another thing, like, souls is a big part of this movie. And, like, with dogs, like, a dog will, like, look you in the eye. It's not
And say
necessarily-
"fuck you, you son of a
It's like,
bitch."
fuck. But, like, with a rabbit, like, like, it just seems so jumpy. It's like, it never, like, seems, like, a dog seems more, like, sentient compared to, like, something like a rabbit. If that makes any sense.
I don't know, the kid at the end when the kid's holding the rabbit.
Yeah, that rabbit was so happy
He's
to
so
be free.
cute.
He's like,
like,
thank
yeah, he's just
God.
like, oh my god, the sun,
Mhm.
the sun. But
I was trying to figure. Okay, one thing that was confusing me. I'm like, is this a Chewbacca mask he's wearing, or
it had
It
like
was a-
vampire teeth.
it was a Wolfman mask?
Yeah.
This kid likes his old school stuff. I'm like, why is he wearing a Jaws shirt and like an old like? It's not a werewolf, a Wolfman from the 1940s mask. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's adorable.
well, and yeah, it's so weird, cause I don't know how to. Yeah, it seems like why would they make that? Like it's not like it's from the 1940s. Like it's
right,
a new
it's made
mask.
for this movie.
Yeah. Well, it's a new mask. Like it's not just like it's supposed to
Right.
be in their world. I'm sure there is one somewhere for sale where it's just like a
Like,
dollar
at first
store.
I thought it was like because they make Chewbacca masks. That's what I thought.
But it had
Yeah,
the
the
like
teeth,
vampire
yeah.
teeth thing. But
Off-brand Chewbacca, like the off-brand Alexis they in here.
oh yeah,
Ophelia.
Ophelia, yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Ophelia, call the cops. Call the Police.
Yeah, fuck the police.
Now playing Fuck the Police by, what is it, NWP?
NWA.
NWA.
Yeah.
NW Penis
Mm-hmm.
instead of NW Ass. Yeah, I don't fucking know. That was a weird riff. Okay, I think we're gonna take a little bit of a break.
Break time.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Fuck off. In these dark and scary times.
Yeah, you're a fellow HUD. Like you're just wandering around, bopping around. You want to get out there. You want to get in the big, wide world. You're sick of the taste of rabbit meat. I mean,
You're sick of walking around. You're sick
Yeah.
of not being able to talk. All you want to do is stand. You know what?
Just get a nice tan.
Stand in a line going from coast to coast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have we got the solution for you guys?
Yeah.
This is HUD Hands Across America. Our latest government initiative. We are kind of sick of the way the world's been going. The people are dicks.
They're assholes.
They drink
They're
too
ignorant.
much. They're ignorant.
Mm-hmm. They're Tim Heidecker. We hate.
We hate Tim Heidecker.
Mm-hmm.
We want him to die. We want him to die in a gruesome way.
Yeah.
So what did we do? We didn't raise money. We found a bunch of rabbits.
Found a bunch of rabbits, scissors,
and red jumpsuits.
And we're ready to go.
And
gloves.
we're
using them.
yes, one fingerless glove, leather glove for each individual. And you know what we decided to do? We decided to make this initiative that basically gives you the chance that you never got in the real world.
Get to feel that sun.
You get to feel the sun.
gonna feel
All
nice.
we ask is
You go on a murderous rampage.
one singular donation of killing your
killing your counterpart.
your world counterpart.
We live in America. They're dumb. They're fat.
They're fat. But for some reason, we can guarantee they will not have their guns.
Yes.
We have been working. This is we've used
Scissors
the
beats
latest
guns, people.
Scissors beats guns. It's the new
And
rock
rabbit
paper
beats
scissors.
off.
Rapid beats off.
I said beats all.
I know.
Well, okay. So, join us now for the HUD Arms Across America 2019 initiative.
2019.
2019. You're the HUD, man.
You're the HUD. Be the HUD you want to see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
In the upper world.
We are the world.
We are the world. We are the HUDs. So just kill your world counterpart.
They're not doing anything better
They
with
aren't.
their life.
They're
No.
not.
They're
They're
holding
forcing
hands.
you to move around. You can kill them. Don't let the people tell you can't kill them.
Don't let your dreams be dreams,
Don't-
people.
Don't think all you have to do is ride a fake
This is
amusement
HUD
park
Shia
ride.
LaBeouf's
This is-
speaking.
Oh, yes, that's right. We have some celebrity HUDs. So we have
Hey, what's up? I've just been watching all my movies for the last 30 years now, and I hate it. It's awful.
fuck Transformers. Why did
Fuck
I do that shit?
Transformers, Yeah.
I'm
Can't wait for the reboot.
I'm HUD Chris Pratt.
Oh hell yeah!
Hell yeah! I used to be fat. I'm still fat. That's the thing. Is the upper
And
world
you know
guy
what?
got
You're
thin?
still happy. Yeah,
Well, see,
you ain't
it's-
happy.
You have no idea how hard it is. The upper
To
world.
keep that weight.
The
dude.
upper world. Chris Pratt got
You gotta
so
eat a
thin.
lot of rabbits.
Well,
man.
he got so thin and so physically active. So he's doing all these aggressively active roles, and I'm doing it, and I still weigh almost 300 pounds.
That's frustrating, man.
It's-
That's frustrating.
I
Dang right.
constant my left arm is completely numb.
I
There's
mean, that's
no
what you get
doctors
for eating
down
all
here.
Those chocolate rabbits, dude.
There's no doctors down here. I don't know what's happening. I think you
We're
mean
scared.
We're scared.
We're so scared, people.
At this point, I mean, it's surprising that I can talk, but just to talk
Yeah.
on this, just to talk on this station for these fine people who I guess are running an
Fine
ad
heads.
for something we don't get any sort of technology down here.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking into. It's like a hole in the.
I didn't know I could read.
Are you reading?
I'm reading, yeah.
What are you
That's how
reading?
I'm talking.
Oh, I'm just this is my. You are HUD Shia LaBeouf, right? You're
Yeah,
reading
HUD
your
Shia,
statement.
man. HUD
Oh,
Shia, yeah.
I'm just talking about my weight. Like I thought this was like
Man,
a
you're
testament.
fat, dude.
She's,
You're so fat.
I'm gonna fucking kill that Chris Pratt. That son of a bitch.
Let's kill those. Yeah.
Let's kill it.
Those. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's kill them. Let's kill them all.
2019.
2019.
Year of the HUD.
The year of the HUD. The HUD is coming back. We are no
HUD's back in
longer.
style, people.
We are no longer. We're just gonna be HUs. No, we're just gonna be H's. We're not even gonna be
Yeah.
HUs. We're just gonna be H's. We're not gonna be underground anymore.
H's holding
We're gonna
hands.
be HD. We're gonna be HD. We're human dwellers.
Finally.
We're not cannibals. Frankly,
I mean,
we love rabbits.
yeah, we love rabbits.
We love
yeah.
rabbits. You're never gonna get.
You don't get sick of that. You get all the
You don't.
nutrition you
You
need.
get all of it. I mean, they taste great. They're adorable. They're perfect
they are
pets.
Goddamn adorable.
They
taste
horny
good.
as hell.
They're so fucking horny, dude.
Okay, we got sidetracked. But
All right, HUD out.
okay, HUD out.
We got.
And we're back.
Yay.
So just
We're
to
the
let,
HUDs now.
I was gonna say
yeah.
just to let you guys know,
We killed those
we
fed.
we killed those.
hosts.
We killed the coasts.
The hosts.
We killed the hosts. We also learned how to talk, but yeah. So we really think that like the HUDs in this movie get a bad rap. Like,
yeah, it's not cool.
it's not
Come
cool.
on, Jordan.
Yeah,
Peele.
Jordan
Be
Peele,
cool.
you clearly very discriminatory towards the HUDs.
I
Like,
appreciate it.
I don't know where you got your info. I don't know like if there's
Fake
something
news.
fake
That's all I
news. Like,
gotta
did
say.
you actually watch Chud? Because like that's like there's all these movies like from the 40s and 50s and stuff like that where it's like there's little people and there's like all the like circus act, like they call them freak shows and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
there's these movies about it and people used to laugh at
You
them. Well,
know,
they don't do it anymore. Well,
no.
stop laughing at
Stop
Chud.
it. Stop laughing at the
Chud.
HUDs.
Chud,
Alright?
I didn't.
Chud's
We
not
didn't
funny,
choose to be this way.
Yeah.
We
I was
did-
born this way, baby.
We decided 20 years ago, after that movie was made, we said, you know what? We're not going to eat people anymore.
yeah.
We're dropping the C. We're
you-
dropping the C.
You don't know how hard it was to switch to
Gosh,
rabbits, dude.
It was so
They
hard.
Don't taste like humans.
They
It's
don't.
Disappointing.
They don't. And like, if it wasn't for that girl dancing in the hallway, like,
We wouldn't have felt inspired.
we wouldn't have felt inspired. We wouldn't have seen the change, the Chud change or HUD change we wanted to see in the world. And you know what? I think we're living our best lives
Yeah,
now.
we're living our best life. We're on a podcast, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'm using a roadie. I immediately, as soon as we left the tunnels, I immediately got a sunburn.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was
Wasn't a fan
really
of that.
bad.
It felt good though. Pain
Mine
feels
hurts
Yeah.
a lot.
Oh,
And
jeez.
everybody like we're celebrating. We're in the streets. We're celebrating. People keep slapping me on the back. How would they fucking not get sunburned? I am in so much pain.
Right. You know what? Fuck this.
It
We
hurts.
gotta go back underground.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I might just take this podcast stuff and go
Yeah,
underground.
dude. Let's start the first HUD podcast.
Yes, this is the first HUD podcast. The rabbits is good.
Rabbits always good. Always
Rabbits
delicious.
is good. We just rode the roller coaster the other night. It wasn't as fun as I was hoping.
No,
Like,
yeah, I mean,
we've been waiting a while. Like our counterparts finally went to HUD or like to Upper World Disneyland, and so like we got to ride all the HUD versions of those rides. It's
the HUD version.
it seems
Yeah, just standing
we're
in the
just
hallway. Not as
standing in
much
a
fun,
hallway.
yeah.
Like they got excited about seeing like Mickey Mouse or whatever, and we just saw another dude, and it's like. I'm sure if he was wearing a giant costume that looked like
You
a
know,
giant mouse, like
I
maybe it
would've
could have been
been
cool.
thrilled. Yeah,
It
would've
could have been cool,
magical.
but it was just a guy.
It's
It was just a guy, and
greasy
he's like,
dude.
"Imagine me in a costume," and I'm like, "No,
I don't have imagination.
I
What is
don't-
that?
yeah.
I don't
beep
understand.
beep boop beep boop
Beep bop.
beep bop." Okay, guys. So
Yeah,
who
we had a lot to say.
we
about
did,
it.
we did. Who would you recommend this movie to, Wally?
Ooh. Definitely any horror fans, they're gonna get a lot out of this movie.
So people, so the
If
wider,
you like Get Out, this is a fun spiritual successor. It's not a sequel, and thankfully it does its own thing.
I was just gonna say, like, I didn't expect it to be a sequel, but as somebody like, because I feel like so many people who might not have seen a horror movie might not like
Yeah.
horror movies saw Get Out.
That's true.
Do you think the general population that maybe doesn't like horror movies is going to, because
I
they
don't
will
think there's
likely
gonna-
see
yeah.
that they will likely see this movie just because they know Jordan Peele directed it. They know,
Right.
I mean,
That's true.
God,
Now
and
his
the
name is
actors,
out there.
yeah,
And
as
yeah,
a like
all the
as
actors.
socially critical.
I could
person.
see that, but I think this does feel more like a traditional horror film than Get Out was. So I think he wanted, to maybe, I don't know, make a more.
I was gonna
traditional horror
say,
film.
but like, do you think that this movie is going to like indoctrinate a lot of people who are
I
like,
hope so.
so he's like not resting on his laurels, but like he's using the laurels that he got from Get Out to convince people to like horror that don't like horror. So you
Mhm.
hope
I think this, will definitely make a new generation of horror fans.
Interesting. But are they going to like?
Because like I don't know. There's some like many tropes of like, oh, the black people always die first, and the white people die right away.
Yeah,
so that's
right away.
pretty satisfying. I don't know.
Do you think? So I guess I'm so the kids who are and this, okay, I did notice it's
Yes.
very weird. I've never seen this in a movie before.
Okay.
But maybe it's something for Imagine. Maybe this is something they do. Is that like there was people outside of the theater making sure that you bought tickets to
And
this
then you
and
were
making sure that
18,
you were over
yeah.
18, which it seemed like a weird practice. But like, I felt like there was kids, like younger kids in there.
There probably was.
But do you think the
I-
kids that are going to see this are going to go back and watch the movies that this is referencing, or watch movies that have these that like he built on to make this movie? Because I feel like
Yeah,
Get
I
Out
think
was
they might be interested, at least. And I think this is a good like starter point if you want to get into horror films.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a. Sorry,
There's
yawning.
enough like modern like things like all the humor, like it's very modern, but
But
it's still good. Yeah.
But they used practical effects. I don't think there was really any CG like that I can think of. I don't think there was any CG. Maybe a little bit of like the blood splatter,
yeah,
but,
I think all the a lot of the blood was probably CG.
but there wasn't any like obnoxious like that. You can watch this. I feel like because it was so minimal, you could probably
Yeah.
watch this movie in like 15, 10 years, and
Oh,
it
so
won't.
yeah,
It won't look dated like I think some of the other like death. What is that? Happy Death Day.
Oh,
I think that was very CG heavy, or like the Scream
looked-
movies
yeah.
or stuff like that, where it's like
I mean, this doesn't have too much satire in it. It does play pretty straight. Like the characters are funny because they just are funny.
they
and
are
some of
like
the
they are
situation-
normal.
Yeah.
And normal people are funny
Are gonna-
sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
But sorry,
It's
I
not
didn't
like
mean
a
to-
satire of like
No, it's
horror
not like
film.
mocking
No.
white people for being.
No, it's like a legit horror film, and I like really appreciate it.
Yeah, they always kept going to the car, and then they forget the keys.
Mm-hmm.
That was like such a like hilarious trope. Like
Yeah, I gotta go back for the key, and
And-
yeah,
they didn't do much else besides that, but that one specifically because they went to their car first, and then and then we're like, shit, we don't have the keys. Let's go to the boat. And then they turn around, get on the boat, drive over to their friend's house, go in their house, and then immediately try to go to or after killing people, go to their car and say, shit, we forgot the keys again.
yeah. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is great. But also, and then before that, they sat down and watched the news.
Yeah, that was the moment where that was like the most like zombie apocalypse kind of feeling moment. You kind of need that context, like, oh, what's going on in the bigger scope.
Well,
It's because I did think at first, oh, it was gonna just be this family,
yeah.
and then expand like, oh, is it just the people they know? Because their family friends are also have evil counterparts. It's like,
Yep.
no, there's this whole society.
Society. Yeah, it's the entire
So
United
Yeah,
States.
there's a natural progression. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I love this movie, dude. I thought
Well,
it was really
and-
good.
I loved. It was such a like. That was one of the most suspenseful points for me, as just like a bystander or like an outside observer, is them sitting and watching the TV because they were so engrossed in it, and then like it just seems like a family just watching the news, like kind of for like Day After Tomorrow, or there's like natural disaster movies where they're watching like a natural disaster happen and they're kind of separated from it, but then as an outside observer you're watching it and you're thinking, that girl is like a sprinter. She's super fast. They just went across the lake. The girl could run around that lake so quickly.
She was like
they're
the
probably
T-1000, man.
yeah, it's like they're probably almost there. Like, how are these people not freaking out about the fact that like they still have people that are actively trying to kill them coming after them? They're sitting and watching the news, and then afterwards, this is the perfect shot.
Yeah.
Is them standing up and saying, "Okay, let's go to the car." They all stand up, and then it's an overhead shot, and then you realize there's just a dead body laying on the coffee table.
Well, I thought it was the wife, but I guess it was one of the.
No, the wife was crawling. It was the daughter that flipped over the banister upstairs after getting hit in the head. And I'm like, oh, that's so perfect, because it's like it's such a clear indicator that these people are they feel so safe because they have this physical proof that either they can defeat them or that they have been defeated. Yeah. At least partly. Like, they almost
kind
forget.
Of fucked up. It's like, they just had this dead body.
but like at this point they've killed like 6 people. Yeah. And it's like they're fighting for survival. Like it's that
also, we
bestial fight or flight.
And it makes sense why the cops never show up, because there's
no, it doesn't. I was so confused. I'm like, the cops have guns. They could have killed their evil counterparts.
Yeah, I guess.
But they didn't want to show guns. I guess. I want to know.
This isn't America without any guns.
Well, I wanted to read, like, what he says about that. Why there aren't any guns. Yeah. Because
I think there were even guns in Get Out. So I think the whole idea of there not being any guns and making this so America focused, again, it's trying to say something. I don't know what
it's maybe saying that in modern horror movies, like, everybody's critiquing it. It's like, oh, why couldn't they have just called a cell phone? No, it's like, why don't you call a cell phone? Well, what happens if you take, like, is the cell phone really that valuable if you take away the thing that you're trying to get to? Like, is the gun the most valuable thing that you could have in a horror movie? Because it's the only thing absent from this that isn't that.
And I mean,
like a cell phone isn't that valuable.
Like, you get more of that, like, visceral animalistic stuff, even from
like a gun is a gun
characters. Because like the daughter at one point, like, she knocks over one of the daughters, and then she just like goes to town on like making sure this other one is dead. Yeah,
a gun is so sterile and separate. Like, you can almost disassociate yourself from the violent action of shooting a gun into another person because of the like distance between you. This, you have to be right up in it. You have to feel, like, if you're using a bat or like the stone thing, like, you have to feel the crunch of a skull underneath whatever. A gun is like, it's so that's why. Well, and that's like an argument to say that, like, guns are making people less less like they cause people to disassociate. They cause people to disassociate their responsibility in the act of killing. True.
Yeah, and again, like with the duality in this, like, there are some moments where, like, early on I was like, oh, like, I was thinking about the twist of like, oh, it's gonna turn out like, you know, this person's the evil person or something like that. Yeah. Because you get a sense that they almost enjoy killing.
And I mean, when you're fighting for your life,
it's
you
like
have
a zombie thing where it's like, oh, they're no longer human. It's like you can go to your animalistic side and just.
But you do find out that they are, and then at the end, she still kills the human.
Well, she kills the good human.
Yeah, well, like, I mean,
'Cause,
if you're
like,
thinking about it as like the people who don't have souls, that's like they don't have humanity. They don't have
Yeah.
that ability to like
They appear-
differentiate good versus evil.
I guess they say they're humans,
Well,
but I
they're
guess
humans.
to understand
What is human?
what is human is it tackles with this idea of having a soul is what makes you
Yeah, but
human.
what is a soul? Like, it's just a relabeling of just the
Of
idea of humanity.
humanity.
Yeah, it's like saying, oh, humans have souls. Well, what's a soul? Well, we can't really define it. Well, then you don't know what makes humanity humanity.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so
I'm glad
it's
there's so much we can talk about.
oh
with
yeah,
this
like
movie.
it's
I'm glad that it's
you
like
can
just so
unpack
in
it.
depthful. It's not straightforward. It's still very enjoyable, like on a surface level. But
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
that's
feel I just keep
every time
reiterating the same point.
This is definitely a movie, and if we can go into ratings, Wally found another way to rate it. Well, I would
Okay.
fuck with this movie again. Like
Okay.
I would love to see this type of movie again because I think
Mm-hmm.
the more you see it, the more you can find the more you can cement. It's kind of like reading a book, like Shakespeare or something. Like you might get a lot of the references
That's true.
reading it the first time.
I did think,
but
think
but
that as
you
well.
you will be able to further your
I feel
thesis
even
on it.
if you see it once, I think if you're someone who likes to think a lot with their movies, there'll definitely be. I mean, just throughout, just reviewing it now. I mean, we just came from the movie theater. We're still like,
Yeah, it's
thinking a
fresh
lot.
in our minds,
Yeah.
but you're never
Um,
gonna get everything. Like if we go back on Sunday, watch this movie again, knowing what we know, we're probably gonna completely
things will make
change.
a lot
Yeah,
more sense,
well, a
yeah.
lot of things will make more sense, but it'll pose more questions. Like we could do, which is kind of cool. Like it's what makes a good movie is that you could basically, or a good book, or something like that. Is that we could do a podcast every week watching this movie over and over again for God knows how long, and cement and this is also it plays to the vagueness of it, is that we could cement a theory of what this movie is about and what actually happens in this world in order to like create our theories about it. It would be our individual theories. It wouldn't be anything like it's a good work of entertainment. Like that's and you can tell that
It's
right
good work
away
of
because
entertainment. It is entertaining. It's well shot, and yeah, it leaves you with a lot of
it provokes questions.
yes.
Provokes questions even after resolving a lot of questions.
Yeah,
And
like
that's
we've mentioned this before. I'm not necessarily a person that rewatches a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I could see myself watching this like again sometime, but I'm not going to necessarily seek it out. But I will highly recommend this movie.
Well, but are you gonna think about it
Yeah.
a lot more
I
in the
think
next couple of days?
Mm-hmm.
Especially after tomorrow, in which we're gonna watch Captain Marvel.
Something where you don't have to think.
No,
about
I
it.
think it's almost the exact opposite. Is like I'd almost
Well,
be
that's just
thinking
pure
about
popcorn
yeah,
entertainment.
yeah.
I'd just be thinking about us
I'm
while
gonna
watching Captain Marvel.
I'm gonna be thinking about either getting pretzel bites or pizza.
Yeah,
and
dude.
just eating pizza.
At 10 in the morning.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, yeah, I've fully
A
committed to this
preview, yeah.
lifestyle.
We
Preview,
watched
so-
our
Good
fun,
movie.
but yeah,
Our
also
good
like
movie.
thought-provoking movie. Now we're just gonna watch a fun movie.
Yeah, we're gonna sit here and let Carl ramble for a little bit tomorrow
Mhm,
afternoon.
as he does.
Yeah. As he does. Carl won't shut the fuck up about his goddamn relationships. Fuck.
That's a
dude.
problem, man. We
Well,
gotta
it's
get
like-
that wizard on this podcast.
We need to get the wizard on. We're hoping
We need that
possibly to get him
second
next
one,
week.
dude.
I want to get the actual devil on. I know he inhabited you,
Yeah,
but we should really get the actual devil on. I mean, we'll do.
he was like, he's been talking to me, dude. Like, he's stuck in my head now. Like, he said he was sick that day. Like, that wasn't his actual voice.
Oh God!
So,
of course, he's
he'll
like,
come
I
back.
didn't sound good on the podcast.
Yeah,
Nobody
he-
sounds
he
good on the
felt
podcast.
He was very sensitive about it.
That's
he cried
okay.
about
That's
it
just
for
the way
hours.
it fucking
You
works.
know, we'll get our boy the devil back on the podcast.
Well,
It'll
I
be-
think for that we'll have to do something
we'll
where
have to do
it's
a
like
seance.
we
We're-
might not even.
something.
It might just be something separate from movies. It might just be like a brunch mimosa day
Yes,
And
dude.
yeah, we'll just get
Butt Chuck
super.
Saturdays, man.
We'll have to do that one time where I mean maybe we'll
At least once.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yep. So I've already said I would fuck with this movie again. Wally,
I would fuck with this.
you would fuck with this movie again? Okay, well
We're gonna have another rating system next time. We're
We're gonna have another rating
figuring this out.
Yes,
But yes,
we are.
go
Okay.
see Us. It's wonderful. It's spooky. It's everything I want in a horror film. I love it.
Go see it. Okay. Now we're gonna jump. Wally, what's your fuck recommendation?
Okay, my fuck
we
recommendation.
need to find a better fuck
What are you
recommendation.
fucking with?
What are you
this week?
fucking with this week? I like fuck recommendation.
Playing on the Nintendo Switch, there's this new game called Ape Out that recently came out. It's like Hotline Miami. It's very minimalistic, where it's this top-down view where you're running through corridors and you got to use stealth. In this one, you're playing as gorilla, so you use your brute strength to just like throw people against the wall, and you're going through a maze.
This game sounds amazing. I
It's really fun.
want to play it.
Yeah, it's jazz infused. Like each level acts like an old jazz album or just an album of music.
Gotcha.
Yeah, really
Sounds
creative.
awesome.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I
What
am
you fucking
fucking with Mattress Firm.
Yeah.
I know it's weird. It's like sponsored content. Yeah, I recently. Jesus.
It's weird to think we would ever get sponsored.
Yeah, it's weird to think anybody would ever pay us for talking about them on the podcast. But I recently moved into a new apartment and realized my
New
queen
fuckery studio.
my queen bed wouldn't fit in here.
Oh.
And so I had to go and buy
you like
a
sleeping
full,
on the floor anyways.
I was, yes, but now I have a full mattress
Hell yeah.
on a thing, and I've been sleeping on it, and it's great. And
Yeah, a bedpost, one of those bed things.
well,
One of
not
those
a
things you put-
bedpost, you fucking weirdo. It's a bed frame.
Yeah.
But
Did you get a box spring?
no,
Gotta get that box spring.
no, dude, fuck box springs. But there was a mattress, and it was like 170 or 180 bucks for a full mattress. Great. And I could I don't know if it's, and the nice part about it is I could lift it myself. So I walked up 3 flights of stairs
Yeah.
with a mattress. It was super light. It's very firm, but it's great. I mean, that's a good price. I'm happy with it. I spent way more than that on all the other fucking furniture I have.
Yeah, he needs more stuff, people.
I do. Like, the
it's so
fuckery
scary.
studio is super empty. I
Yeah.
need to get, like, foam soundproofing because I'm sure we're echoing, like, gangbusters.
Yeah, you left the door open.
I did. It's just so hot in here.
So dang hot.
Yeah, you can't.
So next
open the
time,
windows.
we'll find another fuckery studio. That feels
Eventually,
good,
we
yeah.
might do it outside, like in
Yeah,
front of the door. Just do an extension cord. That'd
At
be
the
cool.
beach.
At the beach. We'll do it at the beach. No, I might. I don't know. Maybe we'll move it into one of the front rooms where you can.
I
Open
think
the
this is a
windows.
good place. We do need to soundproof it.
Yeah, we need to, because I feel bad. Cause you shout a lot more than I thought you did.
I do shout.
You're
quite a
very
bit.
loud. Yes.
Yes.
Because that's the thing is if you talk right up close to the mic, you can
shouting.
You can really hear it. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like it.
I
You have to
don't
be
like
like, I have to be like, you're like
Yeah.
Carl. You have to be
Yeah.
5 feet away from the mic and shouting.
Mm-hmm.
You need that smooth, sultry voice. Smooth and
Yeah.
sultry. Yeah.
Sexy.
Sexy. No, but I guess that's as good a point as any as
Mhm.
yeah. So hey guys, guess what?
Fuck off.
Fuck off.